Happy Friday! So this is another rendition of U times 2, what do you do? And today, I also have a surprise tip. I have the day off today, so I've been spending it just getting my life together. I detailed my car, I've cleaned the kitchen, I've cooked breakfast, about to go work out, and before I go, I was going to sit and look at my calendar just to make sure that I stay on task today. So one thing that we do with U times 2 is personal assistant work. A huge component of that, whether you're using our services for cleaning, childcare, administrative work, errands, whatever it may be, property management, a huge component is the skill set of time blocking and the ability to be able to work efficiently and effectively without using up time and just frivolously. But our goal is also to maximize the time and to make it count. And I don't just do that in business, I do that in my own life. One aspect of this company that I've started, I've got my life coaching certificate, and I would love to start doing more coaching also, not just with the cleaning and admin stuff, but I'd really like to I've done some dating consulting. That's a lot of fun. That's one of my favorite things. But I've also done some consulting in business, and I've done some consulting in childcare. So the coaching is very diverse, and a lot of it is not so much me telling someone what to do, but rather asking the right questions so that you can come up with the answer on your own. I guess while we're on it, coaching, I'm totally ad-libbing here, but coaching, just so that we're all on the same page, it's you coming to the answers, and when someone does come to the answers on their own, they're more likely to follow through in a way that works well for them. So a coach's whole purpose is to lead and guide you and provide a structure and a friend to listen to and accountability so that you can get from point A to point M or N or O or Z without having to just flounder around. So it's a way to really get a focus and be able to complete a goal or a task or develop something within yourself that you would like to do, but for whatever reason you don't have the structure, you can't find the time, you don't know the steps that you need to take, and that's what a coach will help you do, is figure those things out. So one thing that I think would be especially useful in coaching, but it's also useful in everything I do, including my own life management, is keeping a calendar. For a while I was keeping it on my phone, and that works great. It's actually much more efficient if you enjoy it, but I'm a pen and paper girl. I have to be able to see something, and I'm not as into the electronics as I think. I know I'm on it all the time. I'm on my phone all the time, but I don't think that way, so I find that pen and paper works best. And I thought I would give you a little glimpse into my calendar. This was from just a few weeks ago. As you can see, it's a very busy little calendar. What I typically do whenever I'm scheduling and structuring my week, and this is a tip that you can use for yourself, is you have to think through every little thing that you're going to do. Since starting this company, I have been working between anywhere from 40 to 70 hours a week. So I also value working out. I think it's very important to keep a healthy body. I value my quiet times. I spend time with the Lord. I value my friendships. I make time for my friends. I lead a Bible study. So the reason I'm saying this is everyone's busy, and I cook all my own food. Everyone's busy, and if there's a will, there's a way, and there's a way to make it work through discipline and through organizing your time so that you can really make it count. So first thing I always put on my calendar is my work, like important obligations that you just have to do, because if you're not working, you probably aren't going to have your house very long, so you probably aren't going to be able to, do some of the things that you want to put on your calendar. So I always put work on first. I know that my drive time typically takes 30 minutes no matter where I go. By allowing a 30-minute block in between every activity, this will allow for any delays. If I know that the drive is more than 30 minutes, I'll allow an hour block. But it's always either 30 minutes or an hour, and that will allow for anything that I have forgot. It allows for me to have some extra time to check email if I get there early. So I would recommend in between every activity that you block off a section of time for driving. And I would be generous with that time. Even if it's a 5 or 10 minute drive, I block off 30 minutes because I know I'm going to need time to answer emails. I know I'm going to need time to organize my thoughts, to make phone calls. So that's what I do if there's extra time within the blocks. Next, what I always put on my calendar after I put work on my calendar is I'll go through and put anything that needs to be done throughout the week. I cook for myself every single week, and that usually takes 3 to 4 hours. So one of the first things that I do is I'll sit down and I'll block off the time. It takes me about an hour to grocery shop. It takes me about 3 to 4 hours to cook, and I'll block that off. Then I go through and I will block off where there are pieces. I try to get my workout in next. And right now, I'm down to only working out like 3 days a week. But it's better than nothing. And sometimes even at night, I'll just go for like a 20-minute walk just to kind of keep active, which I don't really consider that a workout. But I need to get my 3 workouts in a week. So I put those next. After the work, before I do anything, I always put my quiet times. I forgot about that. Keep him first, So I always put my quiet times, and I allow about an hour and a half. And just like any other event, I put the drive time, so that if something crazy happens or if I need to get gas in the car, whatever, I have fluff time throughout the day. So that's how I've solved my fluff time problem. Now, I know that everyone isn't. Some people are like, I need structure, I need a calendar, I need organization, but I really need spontaneity. I've met a lot of people who need that time to be able to not have structure. I tend to be more oriented personally towards the structure. I get so much more done whenever I stick to that. But if you're one of those people who has to have your spontaneity and your spontaneity time, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I would schedule it. So what I've done, I know that I personally need at least a day of nothing planned. So every Sunday, what I've done, and actually I think it's better in this new calendar. I'm about to switch calendars, and I've got a big one. I just switched to have a big calendar for the next one. So this will give you a good idea of a blank. So for starting January, that's the next time I don't have anything on the calendar, I have already gone ahead and blocked off Sunday as my day of rest, and there will be nothing scheduled on this day. Another thing I've done for this new calendar that I've really liked the last few weeks is I've blocked off the time. I just went and took a highlighter and I highlighted the time that I know I need to wind down for the evening. For me, it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours to really do a good job of winding down. Now, I've highlighted it, so it doesn't mean that I can't do something into this time. It just means if I schedule it, I know that I'm cutting into my unwinding time, and that's my reminder. That big pink highlight chunk is my reminder of, if I am out doing something during this evening time, I am going to be sacrificing the time of, like, sitting on the couch, being with my cats, taking a shower, dry skin brushing. These are some of the things that I like to do for fun. So that's cutting into my unwind, decompress, and when you're working 10 to 12 hours, sometimes 16 hours a day, you really value that time. So that's my time where I typically don't like to talk to anyone. I shut down. I'm off the radar. And by taking time for myself to rest, and this is something I think it's very important to understand and recognize, especially for people like me who are just like, go, 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 like, I've got to be doing something all the time. By forcing myself to rest and take time, whether it be in the evening, working out with friends on the weekend, taking my Sunday, and another thing I'm doing over this next year is every 6 weeks I have set aside a full weekend where I won't be working at all. So every 6 weeks I have a weekend. I work 6 days a week. I know not everyone does that, but that way every 6 weeks I have a full weekend. No one can touch it, and I have disciplined myself not to accept any work during that time. And I found that when I give myself those times of rest, whether it be I have rest built into my daily routine, rest built into my weekly routine, and rest built into my yearly routine. So by doing that and by disciplining myself towards rest, I have found that I am more productive, I'm more efficient, I'm happier, my own life is taken care of, and when our lives are taken care of, think about it, like, we can pour out that much more. We're better employees, we're better friends, we're more available, we feel more secure, we're not running around anxious about trying to make it to the grocery store because we're out of food. Everything flows so smoothly whenever we keep a schedule. And so, and I know that it's not for everyone. No one's made the same way, but I do think more times than not, some type of a schedule, some type of a structure can greatly enhance one's life. So that's my tip of the day / what do I do? If you want any help with scheduling and structuring your schedule, I'd be happy to meet with you. What that would look like would be sitting down together. I would ask you a series of questions to try to determine your values, your needs, where does your time need to go to, where does your time want to go to, where do you want your time to go, and then we will create a schedule and a plan that you are happy with, that you're comfortable with, that you enjoy, and we can use that so that your life will have a flow and so that things go smoothly for you, and it's highly customizable. It's not, don't freak out how I do my schedule. It's not about how I do my schedule. It's about me sharing some tips with you that might enhance and bless your life, and coming to a system that works within how you're created, how you're uniquely designed, how you think, and how you want your schedule to be. So feel free to set up some time. I also do cleaning, child care, pet care, waiting service, errands, cooking, meal prep. You name it. I've been building databases for people lately. I've done data entry, I've done filing, admin work, phone calls. So there's really a lot of diversity. I love the uniqueness of all of these roles. It's very fun and fulfilling to me to be able to wear different hats. So I enjoy, if you have an idea for something and I haven't mentioned it, one gal reached out to me recently and said that she does online garage sales. She wanted someone to do an online garage sale for her. Social media help, you name it. So these are just some of the things that you ×2 can provide for you to double your efforts so that you can have and maximize your time. Have a great day and happy weekend.